Hello, my dear students of B Honors third year English. I'm here. You may see MD.TUFAEL, one of the lecturers of your department. Coronavirus has brought a sea change in our life, and as we see, there are no hope comes. We have to be evolved with coronavirus. Follow the instructions given from Health Department of Bangladesh. However, welcome to my virtual classroom, and before I go through my today's topic of discussion and today's course, before I start, I'd like to draw your kind attention to key takeaways on restoration and 18th century literature. The Great Fire of London in 1666 and another outbreak of plague affected the literature produced in the Restoration and 18th century. And next, neoclassicism. Neo means false, pseudo, fake. A phase of the Enlightenment era produced highly structured formal literature, but modeled on classical Greek and Roman literature. But actually, they couldn't sustain the genuity of classical Greek and Roman literature. During the 18th century, the English language became more standardized and perspective. The first English dictionaries, particularly Dr. Samuel Johnson's dictionary, were produced during the 18th century. Minded, the Restoration brought about reopening of the theatres and the development of new drama, including the comedy of dramas, manners. The novel had its origins in the 18th century. Journals and diaries were an important form of literature in the Restoration and 18th century. Now, a microscopic view of four novels in your syllabus, in that course, Restoration 18th century fiction. There are four novels you have to study, and before that, I would like to suggest you to search Google and search the novels and or YouTube. You can get the text of that novels. And Orinoco by Afraban. The main theme in Orinoco are slavery, race, and primitivism. Slavery and race in Africa. Orinoco is a prince and a general, a well-respected young man with a bright future ahead of him. In Suriname, however, Orinoco is nothing more than an impudent slave who leads an unsuccessful rebellion. He was in love with Black Cabanas Imoinda. Both the hero and the heroine at the end of the novel had a tragical demise. So we can also call it a tragical novel. Now, then comes Robinson Crusoe, composed by Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe's novel Robinson Crusoe tells the story of a man cast away on an isolated island who attempts to create a life for himself. An important thing to note in reading the novel is that Daniel Defoe was himself a dissenter and a strong advocate for the rights of dissenters to freedom of conscience. Many of his protagonists' spiritual developments reflect this. The first theme in the novel is one of survival. Later I will explain when I go discussing or conducting the novel. And my next class, as I mentioned, would be held on Robinson Crusoe. The first theme in the book is one of survival. The theme of survival leads to a second theme, which is awareness.